All right. So, for those of you who are just tuning in, we have just finished, at least here on Twitch. If you're not already following my Twitch channel, you need to. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link's in the description.
You hang out with us. Why aren't you hanging out with us?
Yes. Though, admittedly, with all of the ads, I don't know if how much longer I want to be here on Twitch. They're kind of ruining things. But there's a lot of things that come to that I need to think about, and like business discussions need to happen. So that's a whole nother thing. Either way,
Viewers,
just
are you tired of ads during our live watch-alongs? Well, there's a solution. Subscribe.
this is true.
Get that ad-free experience today.
Yes.
Give Micah Curtis your money.
But for those of you who had saw the box on my couch and are just tuning in, this is the one thing with what little spending money I had this month. This is the one thing that I allowed myself as a purchase is the Gundam Double Zeta Verka. I already have the paints picked out that I want to do with this thing. It's gonna be fucking sick, and this box is gigantic. So, I am a happy camper, just because I love building Gunpla. But that's what this box is for those who see it. So we just finished episode 3 of The Witch from Mercury. Another good episode. Pretty quality. These episodes go by very fast. This is a very fast-paced show, I've noticed. Which isn't a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, to kind of break down the synopsis on this one, Miarina's now former fiancé wanted a rematch with Suletta. His mech, the Ghoul, gets upgraded to what people can see above me. Pretty interesting looking beetle. It almost looks like it's inspired by something from Dunbine.
Like an aura battler?
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. It's like basically a normal mobile suit from a Gundam show mixed with an aura battler. It has that sort of bug aesthetic, you know.
Oh, I love when they do stuff like that.
But basically that's what this whole thing centers around. Is Ghoul wants to regain his honor because he lost in such an embarrassing fashion, which is an understatement. He got fucking raffle stomped. And of course, we kind of get established right out of the gate that, again, things are not how we thought. Basically, Suletta has to continue winning these duels to stay alive. The only reason that she's in a betrothal to Miarina is just because she to basically keep her alive and keep the Gundam there. You know, if, like was established in the last episode, if the betrothal goes away, she loses that betrothal in a duel, she's a dead woman, and the Gundam is dead too. They're gonna just disassemble the fucker.
I'm gonna start calling Miorina Mio Mio because she hates it, and she's not exactly my favorite character. Like she's a huge fucking bitch.
Yes, she is.
Like all Suletta has done since they met is just try to be nice and pleasant and want to be her friend and ask her if she's okay and saved her every time she was in trouble. And all she's done is like, I'm going to use you now. You better get used to it because I'm not going to stop anytime soon. Don't backtalk me.
Basically. So needless to say, this is going to, I'm right out of the gate, this is going to end up where they're either going to become really good friends through the course of this, or they're going to end up at odds halfway through the show. I think that the latter is probably going to be what happens.
Yeah, more than likely.
Because, I'm going to be honest, the duels are good. Like, the combat sequences in this show are fantastic. They're really well put together. On the flip side, this is going to get old very quickly if this is the only gimmick this show has. Because there was a couple of moments at this where I was like, yeah, this is kind of cute, but this better not start getting formulaic. Because the one thing that I feel like the strongest Gundam shows have is they don't have a formula. Except for G Gundam. But G Gundam is not a traditional mecha, it's a shonen. You know?
As long as there's like serious progression on the side, you could probably get away with another 4 or 5 episodes that are just fight of the week.
Yeah.
But you've got to have some. If the fight of the week is your A plot, you need to have some solid shit happening in your B plot and your overarch.
Yeah, that was oddly enough what drags down Victory Gundam for the first 25 episodes. You know, which by the way, Victory Gundam is by no means a bad series. In fact, I would say that the last half of it is like some of the best Gundam ever.
It's one of my favorites.
I remember you kept pushing me on that one. You're like, you need to try it again sometime. You need to try it again sometime. And I gave it like 2 tries. Then on the third one is when I got finally caught to the second half of it. And I was like, whoa, this is really fucking good. But the reason that it got so good is because it wasn't formulaic anymore. You know, Victory Gundam, I'll do a whole video on basically just about everything in the Universal Century at some point. Victory Gundam's problem, just to go, not going to go super in depth, is just, it had a formula for the first 25 episodes. Uso goes somewhere, he meets somebody new, the bad guys show up, the new person dies in a very tragic and sad manner, and then Uso runs away. That's it. That was just about, that's the first half of the show. And it's...
Yeah, or Uso forms a bond with somebody, that person dies horribly that same episode.
Yeah. It's basically, you know, show up, get decapitated, repeat, you know?
Yeah.
And it got formulaic. And that's the problem, is you like, Gundam does not lend itself well, or really Mecha in general does not lend itself well to being formulaic. You know, every episode needs to offer something different than what the last one did. Oddly enough, you've got the Zeta Gundam behind me. Double Zeta, I think, probably is best at that. Is actually offering something new and new locales and all this other stuff every single week. Or every episode. So did the original, you know. Zeta kind of like half the episodes are in space, just out and it's like ship battles, so you have to really be invested in the interpersonal stuff. In this, I really feel like, again, I don't want this to be caught in a formula, because what we are getting is good, but I could see where this could go very wrong very quickly for the show. But anyway, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Build fighters and even build divers, the sword art of Gunpla Battle, kind of did that where you had your fight of the week, but I think eventually they did start going, no, there's a lot more going on here, and that's going to be very, very important, because it really does seem like they pulled a bit from the build fighters, and I was very surprised when Guel just jettisoned his entire elbow joint, and there's a fucking peg there. Like, is he a Gunpla?
Yes, that was hilarious. I was like, what the fuck, really? Oh,
like, that would be the ultimate twist, though. Is that all of this is taking place in the Build Fighters universe?
Oh God. Speaking of which, off topic, did you see the Full Mechanics Gundam Aerial yet?
I have not.
I don't know why it's a Full Mechanics. It seems like a master grade. Like, it's very detailed. It has an inner frame, I think, for the most part.
Dark Schneider, the first Build Fighters is definitely worth it. I would definitely check it out. The second iteration, Tri-Fighters, it isn't as good, but it's also an intramural tournament. It's between schools, but it leans a lot more heavily into G Gundam.
Yeah.
Where one of your characters is doing martial arts moves with his Gunpla. He's not a builder. He's not a controller. He just goes up there and just does legit martial arts moves from the style he studied. And when you find out who his teacher is,
yes, it is a fun twist. The one thing one of the shows I had lost interest in it like halfway through. And then somebody, it might have been you, said, hey, guess what Mobile Suit just showed up? And it was the fucking Crossbone.
Yep.
And I was like, oh! Because the Crossbone Full Cloth, the X1 Full Cloth, is one of the dopest mobile suits that's ever been created. It's fucking amazing.
And it almost soloed G-Self a fucking what was it, a modified double O and a I forget what the other one was. Like that weird thing that was like a I don't remember what the hell that thing was, but it was like just some crazy custom job. And it almost soloed all three of them. It was so awesome.
I know. And I actually had to explain to somebody in my Discord server. I'm like, you don't understand. The Crossbone full cloth doesn't need to be kit bashed. It has all of the weapons. That's the point of the Crossbone Gundam, is that it's a pirate. It's got weapons hidden everywhere.
Now, Build Divers, Sword Art Gunpla.
Yeah.
The first series of that isn't very good.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it. The second season of it is like Build Divers, Redive or whatever it's called, or Redivers, I don't remember. That's actually really good because they managed to actually have real stakes.
Well, do you know who directed that show?
Off the top of my head, no.
It was Okawara.
Oh, was?
It was, yes. Okawara directed the entire show. That's why it was so good.
I didn't know he could do it. Wait. You don't mean Obari?
I mean Obari, not Okawara.
I was saying Okawara. I didn't know he had it in him.
But no, yeah, Obari is the one who directed Redivers. It was. I saw some of the fight scenes in that. I was like, oh yeah.
It was so good, and the core Gundam was such a really cool idea, which we'd seen done before, where here's an SD that becomes a full-size Gundam. No, he kind of reminds me of the semi-deformed mecha in Super Robot Wars, where they're like half deformed.
Yeah.
And then it combines with mobile armors to become full-sized, and they're all situational.
Basically. But either way, back on the topic of the show.
Yeah.
So to kind of go into what happens next is, of course, because it's the Hero Gundam wins the fight. It's a good fight. It's an interesting fight.
Yeah.
Of course, the dueling committee try to cheat, or part of the dueling committee tries to cheat for Ghoul. There's a weird thing in this where beam rifle rounds get dissipated by water. So they're not as potent as other Gundam shows.
Now, we've definitely seen that happen before. That happened in Seed, where beams don't work underwater.
Yeah.
Even in Wing, there was a shock that, when Deathsight first showed up, how could he use a beam weapon underwater?
Yeah.
And
it was a good way to make the Gundams more distinct than any other mobile suit.
Right. I think it has to do with the fact that they're not using a special type of particle, such as Minovsky particles or GN particles.
Yeah.
I think that this might just be focused plasma.
Probably. But as it stands, that was kind of a weird thing, but it worked to increase tension in the fight. And I'm going to be honest, I really like the idea of there being elements within the school that are going to want Suletta to lose, because that's going to be the one thing that really is going to need to exist in the background to make this show that much more interesting. There needs to be politics inside of the school. It needs to feel very Game of Thronesy to reflect sort of the world outside of it. That these kids aren't really these kids in a sense. They represent their parents, who are, all members of the board, basically. So
I can't wait to meet the character that's the bookie for the school. The other guy that's taking bets.
Yes.
The odds are really good on Suletta. Everyone's betting on her. So all I gotta do is do this, and oops, the house wins.
Yeah. Also, I should probably specify for people who would be watching this clip on YouTube, I don't mean modern political zeitgeist bullshit. I mean interpersonal politics of the government that's in the show. Just to clarify, I don't want people to think that I suddenly am gonna start voting blue. That's not the case.
Yeah.
But
the world of G Witch seems to be very much corpo feudalism.
Yes, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
But the episode, there's a couple key things just to piss the shippers off. Suletta clearly is not interested in a relationship with Miorina. She's trying to be her friend. because but it's pretty clear, like, when she talks about going on dates, she's not talking about Miorina, and she gets called sex crazed. Yeah, she's interested in dudes. So, and then by the end of the episode, apparently,
she got a boy toy.
yeah, like this fucking not Char here, he proposes to her, which is kind of hilarious because it's like, so she's gonna be, how many people is she gonna marry by the end of the fucking show?
Which follows my prediction for his character from episode 1, that he was gonna turn around and he was gonna turn out to be really fucking cool.
It's possible. I have a feeling that she might pull a Goku, and whatever the broader conflict is, people that she beats in these duels end up becoming her comrades. Well, I say that, but that's also technically a Domon Kashu. Though Domon didn't go out of his way to make friends, let's be honest.
Yeah, he made friends in spite of his actions.
Yes. So, overall, it was a pretty good episode. I wouldn't say it was as thrilling as the last one, oddly enough, which is really interesting because the last episode didn't have any conflict, any fights at all. It was all interpersonal stuff, but it was so fascinating that you couldn't take your eyes off of it. So,
Suletta becomes Rudy from Jobless Reincarnation and marries everyone.
hey, why not have your own? Well, that's the funny thing. It's like she's building her own harem accidentally. She's so adorable that everybody wants her. It's just.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Suletta, man, that's your problem, girl. Gundams are only good for getting pussy. I beg to differ.
You don't know what the ultimate twist of this show needs to be. They open an interdimensional portal, and they bring in Wu Fei to take her out. But he doesn't kill her because he doesn't kill bleeding hearts or women. I'm sorry, that's still my favorite line from Wing.
No, they bring in a bridge. They bring a bridged Wu Fei, and he's just very confused by everything, so he just yells at everyone.
What? Like, even just normal Wu Fei would be hilarious just because of that fucking line. This is like, what? You don't want us to fire? Why not? Because she's a woman. Fucking based Wu Fei. I'm sorry. He's just so funny. The funny thing about that is he pisses off so many characters. A lot of people actually don't realize that Wu Fei actually has a genuine arc in Gundam Wing. But yeah, it's it's just one of those things where it's like, again, to kind of give the final thoughts on the episode. It's a great fight. I'm really interested in the idea of who is going to end up being the people that are working against Suletta in this and why they are motivated to do so. I'm going to be interested to see where this relationship with her and Ghoul go, it'll be interesting to see. I
want to see that Earther and that Earthian and Spacian to shit.
Yeah.
I want to see that play out. I want to see why the fuck there's beef. Why everyone looks down on the Earth people. If it's just like, haha, you grew up dirt side, you're a loser.
Yeah.
Or Earth is old, space is new. Because usually it's the other way around, so Earth people, elites, looking down on the space noids.
Yeah. Let's just get to the fucking war crimes, man.
Yeah.
Because that's when Gundam gets really interesting. Case in point, again, Double Zeta. I'm not going to say anything more about this. Episode 25.
Ooh.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I
want stuff like that to happen in this.
I got a bad feeling that our first big war crime is going to be the destruction of the school and with a high casualty count among the students.
God, that would be good. I'm definitely looking forward to that possibility. So yeah, overall, again, another good episode. This show is turning out to be ridiculously interesting, to say the least.
I'm very pleased with it.
The one thing I'm just hoping is, like, let's not get too formulaic with this. There needs to be a little bit more added to it, because if it's just duels all the time, it's going to get old very, very quickly. So that's really the long and short of that. What are your final thoughts on the episode, Xavier?
I was very pleased with today's episode. I like where it's going. The last episode that we did was a lot heavier on exposition, and this one kind of felt like, let's take a breath and kind of slide into a type of status quo, because I got a strong feeling that the next 4 or 5 episodes are going to lean very much into fight of the week, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as your B plots and your overarching are getting development at the same time.
Yes, I would agree completely.
Clearly, we have a large cast of characters just among the school children that we've yet to be introduced to, that we've yet to see really do anything. I think that tan-skinned girl is going to be the waifu for the show, because Soleda's adorable, but I don't think she's going to be the show waifu, and I just can't stand Mio Mio.
Yeah. Alright, well, before we go ahead and close this out, both the stream on Twitch and also the YouTube video, just as a reminder to everybody, Englewood Book 2, live on Indiegogo. I have given Hatman the print file, everything he needs to put the print file together, over on Mix'em, which is the printer that we go out of. If you have not picked up the book yet, now is the time. Seriously, I don't know when we're going to close this out, probably within the next month. I don't know where we're going to close this out, what channel, whatever. I'm going to talk to some people, see where we go with that. Either way, the time is running out. If you have been delaying getting this book, then you need to, like, stop delaying. Like, snatch a copy. Specifically get the Preston cover if you haven't already, because this thing's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, get it.
Speaking of Preston Acevedo art, we're still putting together stuff for 3 Nights 4 Days Part 2. We want to get to 15K on this so we can get the alt cover by Irene Strachalski, also known as Rini. Get rolling on that. We're not too far away from it either. 1,700 and what? $55 away from it. So if you have not picked up the Box of War yet, you should. Because you get the first book, the second book, all the prints, all the posters, all the t-shirts. Not something you want to miss out on. So
you get the posters, you get the t-shirts, man. You can't beat that kind of value.
Exactly. So on that note, folks, I just want to say thank you so much for watching us. We're going to go ahead and take off. My name is Micah Curtis, your favorite vanilla gorilla. Have yourselves a good one.